Well, I'm now joined by the Democratic strategist and former pollster Bernard Whitman, and also Amy Tarkanian, a Republican strategist and former Nevada State Republican Party chairwoman. Thank you very much indeed to both of you for joining us. Let me just start with you firstly, Bernard. Have you been surprised by the way events have unfolded following November the 3rd? 4 days we had to wait for a clear picture.
Well, let me first say welcome to the dawn of a new day in America, and I really believe this is true. Last night, I sat next to a woman who I had just met, who was watching Kamala Harris and Joe Biden address the American people and broke down in tears. This is a woman who has never been involved in politics, didn't even want to know who the president was called to action because of how divisive this country had become. And we have been on this trajectory for 3 decades. For 3 decades, the politics of personal destruction, which began with the bitter attacks under the Clintons when they first assumed office, it got worse with the war on terror and the demonization of the other under George W. Bush. Obama tried to reverse that curve, but he was attacked relentlessly by none other than Donald Trump, who questioned his own ethnicity, his own ability to serve in the United States, who questioned who he was as a person. I feel like with Joe Biden, America has finally let out a collective sigh. We have finally decided to, as Joe Biden said, let this grim era of demonization end here and now. I really believe we can bend the curve. I really believe we can start working together as a nation, stop treating opponents as enemies, and bring this country together. We can bend the arc of history and unite this country.
Amy, Bernard, they're just saying that a new dawn has broken in America. Do you agree with that?
Well, of course, with each new administration, we're going to have a new dawn of some degree. And I liked both of their speeches last night. They were both very positive, uplifting. Compared to their campaign speeches, which were filled with doom and gloom and speaking of a dark winter and basically scaring the voters into thinking that if we continued with President Trump, that that their lives would end. It's unfortunate that President Trump was never treated fairly, especially by the media. Within the first week of him being elected, the negativity coming at him was more than 90% from the mainstream media. He was never given a fair shot. We are still counting votes. It has not been finalized. I did congratulate President-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on social media when the AP had called it, but there's still litigation that's going to begin tomorrow. So it will still be very interesting to watch how this all finishes.
Amy, you just said there that Donald Trump was not given a fair shot when he came into office, but actually some people could argue that he has not given Biden a fair shot through his rhetoric of irregularities in the voting system.
Well, he has every right to question if there's been fraudulent actions. That's why we have a number of lawsuits that are pending. And of course, we'll find out what those outcomes are. Do I believe there's voter fraud to some extent? Yes. But do I believe that it's as rampant as the president is claiming? I'm not so sure.
Let me go to you then, Bernard. As a former pollster, how did the polls get it so wrong? Because it wasn't the blue wave that they predicted. It was more like a blue trickle, if you like.
America is a very divided country, and I think we have to wait till all the votes come in and look at the exit polls. At the end of the day, it's all about figuring out who's going to show up to vote. Last time, we got it a little bit wrong. This time, we got it also a bit wrong. And I think at the end of the day, we have to look and examine and understand when we poll people, that's one thing. When we decide who's likely to turn out, that's another. We had tremendous energy on our side. And look, the Republicans, frankly, did really, really well on Election Day. They actually made gains in Congress. They made gains in the House. I think we'll make a gain or two of a seat in the Senate. But we have to realize America is a very divided nation. And that's why Joe Biden's called to bring people together, stop the demonization, lower the temperature. We can work together in this country to solve the real problems. That's our only solution. And I think the polls show that we are divided. So I want to encourage all my Democratic friends to, in caution, reach out, be magnanimous, work together. This country is very split. We need everybody joining hands to solve first the coronavirus pandemic, which Biden will, I think, take leadership in actually following science, and then get the economy moving again, work on climate change, healthcare, so many other issues. But we can only do this together as the United States of America.
So, Amy, Donald Trump, they're coming a close second in terms of the number of voters that he's got. So Joe Biden, of course, sitting at number one, the most number of votes in the popular vote in history. But as I said there, Donald Trump is number two, in fact, ahead of Obama. So this shows the divisions, doesn't it, within that country? And, you know, we have Mr. Biden here, the president-elect, saying, I'm going to be a president for all Americans, and talking about unity. Can he actually achieve that? He's got a big job on his hands.
Well, he can actually, but he won't be doing it on his own. I think my counterpart just pointed out the fact that Republicans did gain some seats in Congress, and we're still waiting on a couple of seats for the Senate. There are some runoffs in Georgia. So if the Republicans are able to hold the Senate and Democrats still have the majority of Congress, they're going to have to work together in order to move forward with anything that a President Biden would like to see implemented. So I think in the long run, hopefully, this will force both sides to finally join hands and work together in order to get anything moving forward in a positive fashion.
Well, Bernard, let me come to you. I mean, how realistic is it? You know, we still haven't got the confirmation if the Republicans hold the Senate, but actually looking at the figures, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer. They will hold on to the Senate. How difficult is that going to be then for Joe Biden when it comes to making decisions and actually when it comes to upholding those promises that he has made to the people who voted for him?
Look, I think it starts at the top. And I think, look, the Democrats do have a chance to potentially retain or gain control of the Senate if we win both of the races in Georgia in January. I think that's probably unlikely, but we're going to try as hard as we can to do so. But at the end of the day, it starts with leadership at the top. It starts with the tone. If you look at Donald Trump for his entire campaign in 2016, his inauguration speech in 2017, and the rest of his presidency, he has never sought to unite America. Joe Biden has said from the very beginning, we need to work together. We need to reach across the aisle. He has decades of experience in doing exactly that. And I believe with colleagues in the Senate like Mitt Romney, like Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, like Susan Collins from Maine, who I wish had been defeated, she's there. I think these centrists are going to help him move his agenda because America needs, wants, and expects work to get done. And I think that Joe Biden, based on his career, can actually do that for the Americans.
Bernard Whitman and also Amy Tarkanian, thank you very much indeed to both of you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.